A limits question with limit n tending to infinity can have very few possibilities of concepts. One is integral as a limit of sum. Now, integral as a limit of sum is missing. Limit of product is visible. You see, this limit is on a product of factors. So, integral as a limit of sum is out of question. Now, using direct or standard limiting concepts, impossible. There is no standard limit that fits into this situation. One thing we can see, for infinite values of n, this tends to 0. And that means now we can have an idea of, you can say, applying logarithm. Another failure idea. See how many ideas did fail so far? Integral as a limit of sum, standard limits. And now what I'm saying or proposing, I'm proposing logarithm on this. If I apply log, let's say if I say this is a capital L, and if I apply log of capital L, then what will happen? Log of A plus log of B plus log of C, and still you are calculating log of constant values. You are not calculating limiting values, and that's where the actual concept lies, in sandwich theorem. This is a case of sandwich theorem. If you can at least understand right at the look of it that this is not a case of integral as a limit of sum, standard limits, not a case of, you can say, logarithm, then you will definitely hit hard on sandwich theorem. Now let's start on this. How do we create a sandwich of the products? Now see, 2 power half and let's say 2 power 1 by 20. Who is less? Who is less? Obviously this is less. Why? Now if I go for 1 by 200, this is even lesser. Why? Because if I keep going for 1 by n and then n tending to infinity, this tends towards 0. Sorry, 2 power 0. This goes towards 2 power 0, 1 by infinity, and that goes towards 1. And this is root 2. And root 2 is 1.414 and so on and like that. Obviously, this is greater, this is lesser. And that means this gap is a small gap but a fractional gap. This gap is an even smaller gap, or you can say this is a larger gap. This is a larger gap, this is a smaller gap. Now you see, 2 power half minus 2 power 1 by 3. First of all, this is a fraction. This is a fraction. And this fraction, when I compare with the last one, 2 power half minus 2 power 1 by 2n minus 1, this one is also a fraction. Now when we compare this fraction with L, I mean this entire product, let's compare this with a power n applied, and let's compare that with the given product, that is 2 power half minus 2 power 1 by 3 dot 2 power half minus 2 power 1 by 5 and so on till 2 power half minus 2 power 1 by 2n minus 1. Let's compare with that. I mean to say, let us make a comparison like this. Just a moment, I'll make some space here, and dot 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 2 power half minus 2 power 1 by 2n minus 1 to be compared with the last factor, minus 2 by 2n minus 1 whole power n. Now if I compare this product with this, given a power of n, given this, then you will see that this being a fraction and this also being a fraction, as I told you, which fraction is larger? See, this is a small gap and this is a smaller fraction, or you can say a lesser fraction, and this is a greater fraction. And then that means if this is a lesser fraction and if that is a greater fraction, then obviously this is going to be in the middle and this will be sandwiched in the middle. And what exactly is that? That exactly is your L value, the limit value. And that means when I apply n tends to infinity, when I apply n tends to infinity, in all the cases, what do I get? L is sandwiched between this power infinity, a fraction power of infinity, a fraction power to infinity. This is a fraction power to infinity, and that means fraction between 0, and that means the left hand limiting value is 0, right hand limiting value is 0, and therefore you can say L, or the limit value, is going towards 0. This is the answer, and this is how we solve sandwich theorem questions. Thank you for your patience. See you in the next question.